Welcome to Amy Bazal Wellness page. I am so excited to practice with you today. Be sure to always listen to your body. If something doesn't feel good, make sure that you back off. If it feels good, keep going. These classes are a shortened version of classes that I offer virtually and on an app. If you want to access full classes, be sure to head to amybazalwellness.com to find out how, and subscribe and like my page so that we can continue to practice through pregnancy and into postpartum. I am so excited for you to be here today with me and my wonderful husband who's going to join us in this couple yoga for prenatal, preparing your body for birth and just getting you good and stretched out, starting that communication between you and your partner so that you feel comfortable when the time comes. So for today's class, you're going to want all the props. Grab some pillows or a bolster if you have them, yoga blocks if you have them, otherwise you can use a stool. We have this chair that we'll be using, and then maybe you want some blankets for your partner or a pillow for them to sit and kneel on. So to begin with, I want you to come to a seated position, and I recommend sitting up on a pillow. We're gonna be here for a couple breaths, and it elevates your hips so that they are in alignment with your spine, so it'll be a little more comfortable for you. We're gonna start with a little breathing exercise. Your partner is gonna take one hand to your belly and then one hand to your back, and just soften your gaze by looking down at the floor in front of you, or if it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes. And your partner can close their eyes too. And just begin to breathe naturally, noticing your inhales and your exhales. And then begin to deepen your breath a little bit further, finding a count between 6 and 8. And try to bring that breath into your belly. As you breathe in, your belly inflating and pressing against your partner's hand. And then as you breathe out, allow your partner to just gently press into your belly, reminding you to empty your breath completely. Notice your body beginning to relax. Notice the support of your partner. And take one more deep inhale in, and exhale, let it out. You can gently flutter your eyes open. And we're gonna move into a side body stretch, so you can take your left hand either on your pillow or on the ground next to you. And your right arm is gonna reach up and then over to the left. Your partner can place one hand on your thigh and then one hand guiding your stretch just a little bit further. And always make sure to communicate with your partner, letting them know if you want it a little bit more intense, maybe back off a little bit. Getting comfortable with communicating now those wants and needs that you have. Breathe into that side body. And exhale, release down. We'll move to the other side. Placing your other hand next to you. Left hand goes up and reaches over. Making sure this left shoulder is staying back so that we're not collapsing down and rolling in. And your gaze can go wherever feels best on your neck. One more breath. And exhale, release down. Okay, from here, I'm gonna move to the side so that you can see. So sitting on top of your pillow, place your soles of your feet together and let your knees open up. Now, this is really opening your inner thighs, your pelvis in this area. So if you're already experiencing some pelvic pain, you might want to skip this one. So just listen to your body. And then your partner is going to place the feet either right next to each other on your lower back, or another option is stacking them one on top of the other right along your spine. And they're just going to gently put a little bit of pressure into you so that you don't collapse your back out. So take a deep inhale in and then just let your knees relax. Let your pelvic floor release. Again, just communicating. You can do a little bit less pressure, please. Thank you. That's perfect. Now we are really trying to relax and stretch the pelvic floor here. So I want you to notice if you're clenching or holding on at all. And if so, try to let that go. All right, and go ahead and release your feet. And then just extend your feet out straight here. If your partner wants to do this too, I'm sure it'd feel good for them. And then flex your toes towards your feet, just feeling that nice stretch along the back side of your calf. And go ahead and point. And flex. Releasing those ankles, helping reduce any swelling that might be going on right now. Go ahead and do a couple circles in both directions. All right, good job. All right, we are going to go ahead and grab onto our blocks, and from here we're going to take our legs wider. Still sitting up on your pillow, and if you don't have blocks, like I said, you can take your hands to a stool or you could use that chair as well. And then your partner is going to grab onto your thighs and just kind of pull them open towards the partner. And taking your feet as wide as feels good and comfortable for you. Again, if you're experiencing pelvic pain, you might want to keep them a little bit closer. Just making sure those knees and heels or toes stay up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale in, and then on your exhale, you can hinge forward. Maybe take your forearms to your blocks. This is a really good pose to help prepare not only your body for birth, but also prepare your mind for birth. It's very opening, again, stretching and releasing through the pelvic floor, releasing those abductors, those inner thighs. And just grab onto maybe just massage it a little bit. Oh yeah, that feels good. Maybe do a little massage if that feels good. We'll do some of those later in class today as well. Well deserved for all the work that you do, those 9 months, homing that beautiful, precious baby, helping it grow, and slowly come up. You can grab onto the back of your knees and bring your feet in. We're going to move the bolster out of the way, or your pillows, and then come to your side. And you can lay your head down or place your head into your hand, keeping your left leg or bottom leg, right leg on the mat. You're going to lift your top leg up, and then your partner will grab onto this leg and gently pull it towards you to get that thigh hamstring stretch. So if you are in labor and for some reason you're not able to move off your back, side lying is an option for you to birth if you did not want to birth on your back. So you just roll onto your side, and just like this, you would have your hand grabbing your leg or your partner grabbing your leg, and then the doctor still has full access. Side lying is a good option for anybody who's having the babies descending very easily. We're not able to use gravity, obviously, in a side lying, same as just being on your back. So it's not going to be as effective as if you were in an upright or standing squatting position, but still an option for you. So a few more breaths, and then we'll switch to the other side. Feels really good. All right, you can go ahead and slowly release my leg, and then you can just roll over to the other side. I'm gonna switch to the other side so that you can see me. Making sure the hips stay stacked on top of each other. Inhale, lift your top leg, and then your partner can grab onto it and pull you. And so if you're in the side lying position and you do end up birthing this way, to open the pelvic outlet, you would bring your knee in slightly, so your knee would come in and your foot would come out. So this is opening those sit bones wide, making room for that baby to come out. You can go ahead and pull it again, honey. Thank you. Let's hold this for a few more breaths here. My leg might be in a little bit closer to my body. You obviously might have a belly in the way, so like my husband just did, kind of pulled it towards him a little bit, leaving room for that belly. You can just go right alongside that belly, just making sure that you communicate with what feels good. And this definitely feels very good. Thank you. All right, you can slowly release that down. Thank you. And just come to your hands and your knees. We'll do a couple hip circles to release any maybe built up tension. Making sure you do both directions. And then from here, we're going to come to a standing position, making sure that all your props move out of the way, and we'll come up to standing. So facing your partner, you're going to take your hands to the top of the shoulders to begin with, and your partner is going to stagger their stance. So one foot will be in front of the other, kind of protecting their stature here. And then take your hips back, and then just bring your chest down. So first, we're just opening our chest up. And then when you're ready, you can slide your hands down so that you're grabbing onto both forearms. Again, pressing your chest down to the mat. Hips are back. Your partner's just slightly pulling back, not too much. And then if you want to, get a little hip release. Can wiggle your hips from side to side. I like to think of this pose as like a modified down dog. So if down dogs aren't comfortable for you, this is an option. And if you don't have a partner available all the time, you can just use a wall, placing your hands up against the wall. Feels really nice. And inhale, stepping up. We're going to go to a squatting position now. We're going to show you a couple options, starting in this standing squatting position. Again, holding onto the forearms. Your toes are going to just turn out slightly. Heels will be in. Feet hip distance are a little bit wider. Take a deep inhale in, and then on your exhale, sink your hips down. Again, holding onto your partner for support, and then you're going to place your weight into your heels as much as you can. And as you're in the birth, we want to get our knees a little bit closer together, because that will open up the pelvic outlet. So if this is an option you're doing for birth, typically we would be really wide here as we're stretching in prenatal yoga, but maybe in birth you have your toes parallel, your knees a little bit closer. This is a very commonly used pose in pregnancy or birth, but it also is not a pose that a lot of people are comfortable in. So that's why we like to practice it now to see if it's something that you would find comfort in your birth. Just another breath here. And then on your inhale, you will stand up using your legs to get up, so you save your partner. And then we are going to show another option with a chair. So we'll go ahead and grab onto the chair, and we're going to place it to the side here so that you can see a couple things that we do with the chair. So your partner will sit down in the chair, have the knees wider, and then again we're going into that squatting position, so you'll just go between the knees and your arms can wrap around your partner's legs. So this might be a little bit more of an option for you if you're choosing to do squatting and birth, because you have your partner right here. They can massage your shoulders, they can help you remember to breathe. I just feel like it's a little bit more supportive as well. So you can hold each of these poses for at least 30 seconds and up to 2 minutes. So if you find that you're in a pose that feels really nice, just stay in it for a little bit longer. And if you're ready to come out, you can join me. Just slightly press yourself. We'll just come down onto our knees. We'll have our partner move the chair out of the way, grabbing onto a big pillow or, again, a bolster if you have it. We're going to come to wide-legged child's pose. So the knees will come wide, toes will touch, and you'll sit your hips down. So if this is uncomfortable for you, if you can't get your hips all the way down, go ahead and grab another pillow or a blanket, and you can place it between your bottom. Your partner will come behind you. Take a deep inhale in, and then just let your chest come down to your bolster. Head can go to either side or your pillow. And then your partner is going to place some pressure on your sacrum. And you might find that this is something that helps relieve pain during your birth. So talking right now about how much pressure feels good to you can help them get an idea of what might feel good in birth. So he's going to apply a couple seconds of pressure, and sometimes even just having that warmth of the palm on the sacrum, that flat part of your lower spine, can also feel really good. And then after a couple minutes, he's going to start at my hips and then massage out towards my legs. Yep, that feels good. So a few more breaths. Again, feel free to stay here as long as you would like. Otherwise, when you're ready, go ahead and take an inhale in and press yourself up. And then we are going to take our bolster and we're going to make a ramp. Now, if you don't have blocks and a bolster, you can just stack up a bunch of big pillows so that you have a ramp style like this, and you're not laying down flat onto your back. So you can take a blanket here too if you want for your bottom. Otherwise, go ahead and extend your legs out and lay back on top of your pillow. Is that good, or should I move forward? Okay. And then your partner is going to take his hands to the base of your skull. Do a little bit of a massage at the base, right where those tight points might happen. And then just have the partner grab onto your skull and slightly lift up and towards them, just holding that until they notice the neck release. You can pull a little bit more, honey. Yeah, that feels good. And then when you notice the neck beginning to release, they can start to alternate hands rubbing up your neck. Just like that. Feels very, very nice. And then gently let the head release to the pillow. Moment to allow yourself to turn inward. Again, deepening that breath. Feel free to hang out here as long as you'd like. And whenever you're ready, you can let your partner's hands release. Gently flutter your eyes open. And roll over to one side and push yourself up. Thank you for joining me today, being a part of this. And thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.